I'd like to share three things. Firstly, why we came to do so. Secondly, what specific results we've seen from the COGMED program. And thirdly, and perhaps more importantly, what sort of more general changes we can observe in our son as a result of doing the training. Now, by way of background, a particularly dedicated teacher had noticed our son always struggled to complete any kind of timed exercise. Whether it's an in-person test or an end-of-year exam, he very rarely finished the paper, which led to a vicious cycle of lower results, reduced confidence, and just seeing himself as a non-academic kind of pupil. This led us to a diagnosis that he had very low working memory, just generally poor ability to process information, and that his reading fluency is very much below average. Now, after we looked around, we found Usha's website, we put in place the COGMED program. And the first thing I think you should understand about the COGMED program is very accessible. For any child that's used to online gaming, it's resonant with that world. It has not been difficult to get our 15-year-old son to sit down for 20-30 minutes, 5 days a week, and be disciplined and consistent at doing the program. He's actually enjoyed the challenge because it ramps up the difficulty levels and the challenge really subtly and does it well. Now, his specific results have been excellent. It's been a dramatic improvement. I know it will vary from child to child, but he has hugely increased the number of bits of information that he can hold in his head simultaneously and process. But more importantly, from our perspective as his parents, is we begin to notice changes in the way he approaches schoolwork in general. Always in the past, huge amounts of fidgeting, has to have a rest, needs another meal, has to have music playing before he can possibly sit down at his desk and do some work. All of that has begun to change. His concentration span has increased, his ability to sit there for a long period of time and start to study is started to improve. It's not there yet, but in 8 weeks, the change is very observable and really significant. So whilst this won't be the last program that we do with Usha's support, it's very much something I can recommend as a next step for you and for your child. Usha is forensic in her attention to detail. She's passionate and she cares, very much comes across. Genuinely, I couldn't recommend her services any more than I already do.